The Enlightenment in Government Thought by Veronica, Dre'naya, and Amani. It all started in 1685 when people in Europe started second-guessing the Church's beliefs. The Church taught many conceptions that scientists in the 1600s through 1800s found out was a lie. Some of the first scientists who had realized this false conception goes by the name of Voltaire, John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, and John Rousseau, and Isaac Newton. Those were the main people involved in the Enlightenment era. Baron Montesquieu was such an important man in the era of Enlightenment. Without him, we would have never created a representative government, and we would only ever have one person in charge. For this would have been a society collapse, because if only one person would rule, then there would be nobody to stop any horrible decisions that the one ruler would make. So simply Baron de Montesquieu changed a whole lot of stuff for him. Voltaire, though, was equally important. Voltaire helped with the idea of freedom of speech. Voltaire spoke the words, "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it," meaning that you can say anything you want and may not agree with what you say, but you still have the right to say it, so I will respect you anyway. Voltaire was in the cause of the three branches: judicial, legislative, and executive. So when the people started second-guessing the Church's belief, that caused many of the Church's followers to decrease. The Enlightenment had greatly affected the Church. The Enlightenment was really supposed to bring an end to this false church belief. If the believers started going against the church, then his profit would decrease. The reason how the church got their money was from teaching the believers that if they were to sin, the only way to have God forgive you was to pay money for the sin that they made. The Enlightenment was a philosophical movement that took place primarily in Europe and later in North America. The Enlightenment era really started in the 17th and 18th century. John Rousseau was a philosopher, writer, and composer in the 18th century. His philosophy influenced the French Revolution as well as development in educational thought. He was one of the most brightest thinkers during the Enlightenment in Europe. His first major philosophical work was winning the essay contest put together by an academy in 1750. John was a very religious Catholic man. Their discoveries encouraged the Americans to start a change in their government. This means the Americans were influenced by the European scientists, so they also made law themselves to use the law that John Locke himself. John Locke discovered and started something remarkable to most people's eyes. He found and discovered natural rights, and those natural rights are three things: life, liberty, and property. This is what happened in the Enlightenment.